let's go on to making the adai. Grated carrots, some grated coconut. So now the dosa is done. Now let's go on to making the chutney. Let's saute some onions, and now this is done. We'll have this ground and you give a basic tadka and we can serve it with the adai.
Hi everyone, I'm Suhasini Sood. We the Chefs is an online aggregator for home chefs with presence in Delhi NCR and Bangalore. We have partnered with more than 300 chefs who are excited and keen to bring their food and share it with all of you. We make this happen by collecting hot, authentic, freshly prepared food from their doorsteps and delivering it to you.
Hi, I'm Rekha Rigo. I'm here today at the We the Chef Experiential Center, bringing to you a recipe which is very close to my heart. It's from the region of South India and it's called adai. It's a kind of a dosa which we make at homes, and it's made with mixed dals or lentils, and it's a very healthy and a high protein breakfast or lunch or dinner item. We start off by choosing some of the dals which are here. You can use any kind of dals. Today I've used some moong, some black chana. I've also used chana dal. I've used tur dal and some red rice to make the dosa crisp, and some millet to make it a little more healthier. This is the soaked dals. The moong and the chana I soaked overnight, and the rest of the dals was soaked for about 4 to 5 hours. Now, after you soak them and drain the water, you add some spices to it and condiments, which are like, basically you add spice to suit your own palate. I added some red chilies, a couple of garlic, cloves, a little bit of ginger, and also some jeera and saunf. That's all it needs. You can also add some curry leaves and some dhania if you want. And the batter is this, which looks something like this. It is a very coarse batter. It shouldn't be smooth. I mean, that's how this adai is made. It's a thick dosa and it is made with a coarse batter. So let's go on to making the adai. This is how it looks. The color comes from adding a little bit of turmeric to the batter. So you can also make this a little more healthier by adding some toppings to it. Here I've got some grated carrots. You can add some of this, and you can also add some onions, some grated coconut, and to make it look pretty, I'm adding a little bit of dhania and curry leaves. Now this cooks only on one side. You can flip it over, but because I've put some topping on it, I will cook it only at the bottom and steam cook the top by putting a lid on and letting it cook. I'm adding some ghee to it. And this continues to cook for about a minute so that it gets nice and crisp. So now the dosa is done, and this is how it looks. Now let's go on to making the chutney. This is a mixed vegetable chutney and it has no coconut. We're just trying to keep things a little healthy, and it's a very simple chutney and tastes great. We'll just add some little ghee to the pan. You can add oil as well. We normally add coconut oil, which gives an added flavor to the chutney. Let's saute some onions. Basically, this chutney has onions, tomatoes, a little bit of coriander, mint and curry leaves, and some chilies. The proportion of onions to tomatoes is double the onions. If you're taking 2, you use 4 tomatoes. So it's 1:2 proportion, so that you get the tanginess and plus the sweetness from the onion. I'm adding a little bit of garlic, just 2 cloves of garlic with a little bit of ginger as well. 3 cloves of garlic because I like garlic, and a few red chilies, some green chili for the punch. You just saute it until it's just slightly pinkish in color. It doesn't need to brown. We're just trying to get rid of the raw smell of the onions. And then the tomatoes go in. And this is one chutney which is regularly made at homes because all these ingredients are available in your kitchen pantry. Just onions, tomatoes, and a few spices. So it really takes less than 10 minutes to make this chutney, and it's really flavorful. I'm also going to add a little bit of tamarind. We add a dry tamarind, but here I've got some tamarind pulp. So this is according to taste. If you like it sour, you can add more tamarind pulp, or you can omit the tamarind. You don't need the tamarind. The tomatoes will give you enough tanginess, but I like it a little extra tangy, so I'm adding some tamarind pulp. So once the tomatoes are soft, we can add a little bit of dhania, lots of pudina, and a few curry leaves. And just wait until it wilts. You're not supposed to overcook the greens, otherwise you get a bitter taste. So this is done. I'll be adding salt before I grind it, and also to bring all the flavors together, I'm going to add a little bit of jaggery to it. This really elevates the chutney to a different level. So jaggery is again up to your taste. You can add more or less. And now this is done. We'll have this ground, and you give a basic tadka of rai, jeera and some curry leaves along with urad dal. Now we're tempering the chutney with some rai, jeera, urad dal, curry leaves and red chilies. I've also added some hing to the tempering. Okay, this is how it is served. Normally we serve this adai with avial, but today we are going to have this chutney. With a little bit of gur. Adai is normally had with some jaggery, some gur, and it tastes lovely. And of course, you can add a dollop of butter or ghee to the whole thing to enhance the taste. And this is your adai with a mixed vegetable chutney and some gur from the coast of Tamil Nadu. Thank you.
Press the like, subscribe and bell icon, and don't forget to order from We The Chefs to taste the stories of our home chefs.